Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, let's talk Coughlin Girls Soccer. Joining us right now is the head coach, Joe Spagnuolo. Well, Joe, your dad really did a great job of laying the groundwork for many years, and you were there with him. And now here it is, your second year, and another great year for Coughlin Soccer.
Yeah, we're doing well. We're still keeping the same basic principles that my father had instilled in the team, instilled in me. I couldn't be happier with this year's team. It's been a great team. I consulted my father a lot after last year's season to try to find where I'm making some mistakes and where I could improve. And, this year I feel we're all really on the right path.
Well, Joe, talk a little bit about back when you played, back in the day. I know your brother's a heck of a football player, but talk about, soccer going through for you.
Yeah, I actually played for my father. He was the coach of Coughlin when I was there. We were, it was the basic same style soccer system, back then that he instilled was just hard-nosed, lunch bucket style soccer. Now I've added a little more of a wrinkle to it. We play more possession. When I went to college to play, it was a completely different game than the high school game. And what I picked up there, and then, through coaching clinics, through talking to other coaches who know more than I do, you learn a lot. And, we just keep trying to put little wrinkles in every week to improve us, and it's paying off.
How about the coaching styles that you go against? I know Dallas has a style, and Berwick, and you get up into Scranton Prep and the Lackawanna League. There's definitely some unique styles out there. And how do you feel that you match up, or is it just that little difference sometimes? And you get a 1-goal game. Doesn't matter what the styles are.
Soccer's an interesting sport, and a lot of people, especially around here, don't understand it as well as other areas. And there's more strategy involved in soccer than one would think. Like you're saying, every team plays a different way. They have a different system that they use. They have different tendencies. And the key is to find those tendencies and figure out how to break them down. Dallas has, they have one forward that they really go to, and everything kind of revolves around that. They have great complementary players all around her, and it's a little more difficult to break them down. You got Prep, who we played last year, who's they play more of a college style, more of an advanced club level style. They play a 4-3-3. They spread it out wide. Just good players all over the field. Crestwood this year was kind of the same thing. They have two really good players playing center mid, and we played them. We actually had to play them the first time. The game got cut short, so we went back and evaluated how we were going to go and attack them the second time when we went to make up the game, and we played a completely different way. We played more direct to bypass those two center mids, and it paid off. We ended up winning 4-2.
Joe Spagnuolo joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, Joe, let's talk about your team overall. Tell us about, are you senior heavy? Do you have some underclassmen that are contributing?
We're actually very young. We're very young, but we're very experienced at this point. We have, we have 4 seniors on the team. One girl just came out this year. She's been helping quite a bit. We have another senior who couldn't play at all this year. She's been knocked out with injury from before the season started. So we're really only starting 2 seniors, and they're huge for us. They're going to be extremely difficult to replace. Behind them, we have a boatload of juniors that are, the core of the team right now. There's basically all juniors on the field. We have a sophomore in goal, Paige Davis, who's been phenomenal for us. And we're trying to break in. We started the season without a backup goalie. So we're trying to break one in still. And, we have some sophomores that are quality. We have some freshmen that are even getting some playing time. So the future's bright.
The league never lets up, that's for sure. And, the pressure will continually be on, whether it's you or Dallas or Berwick, or you mentioned Crestwood, all those teams, and I'm sure a few more that are pretty darn good soccer teams here in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and, of course, District 2 taking on teams like Scranton Prep or other teams. Joe, let's talk about some of the offensive power you have this year. Who are some of the girls who are able to put the ball in the net on the offensive end?
Up on our front line, we have Mary Tona and Haley Dumont, and they're handling the boatload of our work going forward. Mary Tona's more of a, she just runs at you very hard. She's technical. She finishes well. I think she has 20 goals this year so far. Haley is a complimentary forward. She does a lot of good things up there, and she's one of the reasons Mary's been so successful. And then our center mids, we have freshman Kendall Perridge, who has stepped in. And, she's a very technical player. She's a small player, but she's very technical, has a lot of assists, some very key goals as well. And then Emma Sokolowski is the other center mid. She's another very technical player. She does a good job controlling the middle, and she's an assist girl for us. But she does a great job finishing as well. And then right behind them, we have Megan LaCara, who is approaching 100 assists on the year. That's the first time we'll ever have seen that. And she doesn't score much, but she sets up a lot of plays, and she breaks up a lot of plays in the midfield for us.
Coughlin Girls Soccer here on the John Mendola Show. Joe, how about the change for soccer going to the fall? Last couple years, what's that been like? And have you been battling those field hockey girls? Whether it's at Coughlin or Crestwood or Wyoming Valley West or wherever. What are you finding with that?
From a selfish standpoint of not having to practice in the gym for 2 months before finally get on a field, it's fantastic being outside early. You have a much better preseason, but you do miss the numbers. There's a lot of quality athletes on that field hockey program that, likely would have been playing soccer. And, there's good families on that field hockey program. So I'm missing a lot of good people around me, as well as good players. But, our numbers, the first year it switched, I think we were at 18. And, we're gradually going up every year to around, now we're about 25. And hopefully it continues. The junior high program's getting more girls out, which is a big help for us. And I like the fall. I miss the spring, but I do like the fall a lot.
Yeah, and it's an interesting dynamic because, I really like the sport of field hockey, but there's a lot of kids in the area that play soccer, and, lacrosse has become so popular. It's kind of one of those things, where do you put the sports? And I guess the PIAA made that decision. Nonetheless, Coach, you still have a great season thus far, but the playoffs will be coming before you know it. We're into the month of October. Let's talk about some of the teams that are going to compete. Obviously, right now it looks like Dallas is the top, but there's some teams lurking, and you happen to be one of them.
Yeah, Dallas is the top dog right now. They've won it the past couple of years, and when they haven't won it, they've been in a position to win it. They've been in the final. So until somebody knocks them off, they're the top team in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Then you have Berwick, who's always tough. Paul DePippa does a great job there. And you have Crestwood now, who is doing really well. Holy Redeemer, Bob Hughes, does a really good job with them. He's a good coach and a good guy. And they're always tough. You have Pittston. Now they're up to AAA, so it won't matter much for us. We're AA, but they're always tough. It really is an open tournament, and this year it actually is a wide open tournament. I'm not sure if you're aware, they added every team in. So it's like I guess the softball was, where everybody's allowed into the tournament now. So it'll be very interesting to see how the seeding goes. I think you could end up with some big time potential first and second round matchups, where there could be some upsets. But overall, it's the same top 5 teams, and we'll see where it goes.
Well, Joe, it sounds like it's going to be a great tournament, as you mentioned. And, yeah, it is an open tournament this year for District 2, so we'll see that in the weeks to come. Joe Spagnuolo, we appreciate your time here on the show and continued success there with the Coughlin Girls Soccer Team.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate you giving the interview, and I appreciate your interest in girls soccer.
Joe Spagnuolo from the Coughlin Girls Soccer Team are out to a fantastic season. Of course, the playoffs will be approaching before you know it. Here on the John Mendola Show, we are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.